Hey, Tom here. So look, it's turned out to be a pretty dang good day for me. I think I'm about to make another good deal. Uh, so I'll filibuster here a little bit until we get maybe a couple people online here watching. But pretty cool. I got up early this morning and I got back on the lake house. You guys will see. I made a little video earlier. Went back out to the lake. Man, just beautiful weather. And I've been letting the lake house sit for a while now. And if you're just getting on with my video blog or whatever we call this thing, you know that I bought a lake house here at a real great deal, and I bought another deal, the 3-day deal, which was actually a really good deal recently. So I've been bird dogging, meaning I'm looking at properties for sale. And so today's actually the 15th. My twin boys, it's their birthday today, and they stayed up late last night, so they're sleeping in. So their mom went to a kickball game, and I went to the lake property, and actually Home Depot. I've got a bunch of 1/4-inch hardy plank that on the lake house. I got everything done. Everything's done at the lake house. It looks beautiful, but I haven't tiled the top floor yet. And it's got this particle board floor, basically the subflooring that rests on the joist that separates the two, the bottom floor from the top floor. So anyways, I had to get a 1/4-inch cement board, or a hardy plank. It's like a cementized board, and what we're doing is we're gluing that down and screwing it down for the entire surface over the top of all this particle board upstairs, because it'll make a much harder, firmer surface to attach to, and that's what's going on. But anyways, in the court, that's why you're going to see that video later. So anyways, but on my way back from the other property, I started driving through some of the neighborhoods. I always say drive through the neighborhoods between your home and your work. Well, now I'm driving through the neighborhoods between my work and my home and my other investments, which right now is this lake property. So I come across a property that I was curious about, and I stopped and I talked. I saw the people open. I saw a lot of cars around. I thought, what's going on? And come to find out, the property, like I suspected, might be coming up for sale. So I went and talked to people, talked to the folks, and they'd already gotten an agent involved. And so I talked to the agent, and what it is it's a property that these folks need to sell, want to sell. And it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. They're expecting to put about $40,000-$50,000 in it before they sold it. And I said, don't do nothing. Don't do nothing. I'll buy it. I want to buy it as is. And I made them an offer. And so it's only been less than an hour since I made them an offer. And I didn't make an offer. I had to talk to their agent. Talk to the agent. I said, I walked the property very thoroughly and went through and explained to him, look, you guys can fix this up. You can spend 6 months. And there's all kinds of catch-22s that can happen when you're, doing the kind of renovations I want to do. I said, I don't want you to do nothing. But it's big. It's a big property. It's about almost 4,000 square feet. Nice home. And I really like it. Really like it. It's not as well located as my own property, but I like it. And but I smell money. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a deal on this thing, and I'll give you more details, because I'm still not quite ready to give you all the details because it's not signed. So I am going to get it signed, I hope. And in that last hour, we've already traded 2 or 3 texts. He thinks that the people may need to sleep on it. And what I reminded him, and I said, look, if we're really close, if you think we're pretty darn close, maybe you can consider giving up 1% of your commission, because I'm dealing directly with the listing agent on this thing. Even though this thing hasn't hit the market yet, I'm dealing directly with the listing agent. And I told him, I said, look, I said, maybe if we get really close, since you're going to get both sides, meaning he's going to get the 3% seller side, he's going to get the 3% buyer side. I said, maybe you can give up 1%, which in this case it'd be about, I guess it'd be about, let's just say roughly $3,000. But you know, he's going to get 18,000, so he's now will get 15 instead of 18. But if somebody else sold it, which is most normally what happens, is somebody else is going to sell it when somebody lists it, and they'd only get, say, you know, half of 18, so they'd get 9. So either way, he's plus 6,000 the way this is going, even if he gives up 1%. So what I was letting him know is I'm not going up on my offer. Don't counter me, because I don't want to go up on my offer. But if we're getting within a few $1,000s, go ahead and give up 1% of your commission. Maybe 2. I didn't tell him that. I said maybe give up 1. But he can give up 1, and maybe on his own he'll give up 2, because he's still money ahead, because he's still going to get 12 instead of 9 by you know, by this scenario that we got going right now. So that's what's happening right now. And then it's my boy's birthday, so I met my wife and kids halfway between the investment and our home, and dropped off one boy to go watch a movie, and my other boy wants to shop for some new clothes. So my battery's just about dead, so I'm sitting in the mall parking lot charging my phone, and while I am, I thought I'd share with y'all. So I see we got a couple people watching. Anybody got any questions? Anything going on? Assuming my phone's working and I can see questions. But also, it's pretty warm. I don't know if you saw earlier, I twittered out actually just a picture of my hand on a beer, and that's because I had 15 minutes between the time my wife was going to come by where we met, the in-between place we met, and so I was having a quick beer because it's like 100 degrees and I've been out in the heat. And you'll see by the video I released at the lake house, we're loading up the top floor with hardy plank, about 70 pieces of, I think it's probably 30 inch by 5 foot, and that's going to lay in just like a set of bricks. We have to mop the floor real well because when we shot, my guys, I told them to mask the floor. They did not mask the floor, and so as a result, we've got a lot of drywall mud when they blew texture on the floor. And now we have to mop all that up, and we're mopping it up off a particle board, which is not a great surface to get wet, to be quite honest, especially when the particle board's 30-40 years old. So anyhow, but they're mopping it up, but I want it to be super clean, because what we're doing is we're going to throw down a lot of wood glue between the two, and it's not necessarily just to make it stick, but it's also so that when you screw this stuff down, if there's a little void at all between the two layers, at least there's something hard in between to kind of, you know, so it doesn't sag or drop or, you know, cause the tile to crack. So it's just a more way of making a hard, flat surface, and that's what we're going to have when it's done. And it's going to look beautiful. So hopefully we'll get it tiled here by the middle of next week, which just means in a couple of days, few days, and then I can start enjoying that place like it's meant to be, like a little vacation home. So actually been jumping in the lake here and there and using the inner tubes. Already starting to look at buying some kayaks and stand-up paddle boards and things. So like I said, I think I'm probably going to make at least $200,000 on that deal, and so it's an advantage to me of just sitting on it for a year, because after a year you go from short-term capital gains to long-term if you can hold it for a year and a day, and I will hold it for a year and a day, because that's going to mean at least $60,000 to me. That I'll save. I'm sorry, not 60, but it'll save me. I'll pay 60 if I sold it today. I'll probably pay 30 if I hold it for a year, plus Obamacare tax if we still have to pay that next year. So we'll see. Either way, it's a good thing to hang on to, and you know, you'll think about this. The more money you make, the more you got to think about tax planning and avoiding. You of course you're going by the rules. You're just using the rules that are before you. It's unfortunate that you get penalized for selling a property sooner than a year, because it'd be great if we could just turn it and flip it, because then we could flip it a little bit cheaper, somebody get a little bit better deal, and we'd pay a little bit less tax, and anyways. But that's how it is. You got to go by the rules. So anyways, that's it. So I just very excited. I'm hoping maybe I'll even get a text while I'm talking to you guys. But he's presenting my offer. He said he thinks they might need to think about it. Good tip on percentage. Send it to my sister, who is a realtor. Okay, good deal. Yeah, just remember when you always want to deal with the listing agent. Once in a while you get a real jerk that you don't want to deal with, but on average, if the agent's smart, anyways, the agent that has the listing, he's automatic. Usually on average they list things for 6%. So then they put it on the MLS, and then another agent sells it, and they split 6%. So let's just say it's 300,000. So that's 300,000 times 6. 9 times 6 is, what is 9 times 6? I thought it was, I can't think straight right now. 3% of, 6% of 300,000 should be $18,000. So they're going to split $18,000. But when you go directly to the listing agent, he gets both sides. He gets a full 6%. What I'll do sometimes when I list a property with an agent, I'll tell him that, depending on how much the value, if the property's getting up to real high in value, I'll tell him you take 5%, and you guys can split 5%, and if you get both sides of it, you'll take 4%, because they still come out ahead. And it doesn't matter if they're selling a $100,000 property, they get 6%, or if they sell $1 million property. Well, if the work's the same, then you know what, you can cut that fee down a little bit. But I can also tell you I've had scenarios where I've listed properties at 10%, and the reason I did that is I wanted both agents on the buy and the sell side to know that, God dang, we're going to get 5% on this deal each. And so it incentivizes them to work harder. It might even make them like my property a little bit better than another property that maybe they'd like a little more if the if it wasn't such a lucrative commission. So anyways, I'm just kind of charging my phone, buying time here, because I'm getting a lot of texts, and I don't want to be in the mall shopping with my son and not be able to answer these questions, because potentially I'm going to sign a deal here. And here's the deal. What's so cool about this property I'm messing with right now, it's a nice big home. Guess what? Has an adjacent lot. I want that adjacent lot. So my thinking is I can buy this thing at the price I offered and get it. I'll clean it up just a little bit. I'll put it back on the market. Now I'll keep the lot, and then I'll resell the house. At the worst case, I'll sell it for what I paid for it, but chances are I'll probably still make $30,000, $40,000, $50,000. Sell the house, and then I'll have a free lot. And the lot's probably worth $60,000, $70,000, $80,000. So that'll be my profit. It'll be the lot. I intend to have my boys become builders. Not that I can design their lives, but I'll build on it myself. But so I'm trying to pick up more inventory. I sold 50 acres. I made a lot of money on, but I'd actually had rezoned it at one time for apartment buildings, and I'd always thought in the back of my head, I'm going to hang on to this, and I'll build homes with my boys, or I'll build homes or apartments or condos or something with my kids. But I sold it and took the money. Sold out, I guess. But that's what we're supposed to do, right? Sell out for a profit. And so now I'm trying to accumulate some land. My boys just turned 14 today, and I intend to turn them into little general contractors. Between the ages of 18 and 22, they will go off to college, I assume. But I want them to understand, because really, for me, general contracting is very easy to do. It's really very simple. And but for some people they can't do it, I guess. But for me, it's simple. And anyways, but it's good. It's great. It's great too if you're going to be a flipper, or whatever you're going to do in real estate. The more you know about construction, the better an investor you will be. You'll never fool yourself as to, I can fix this for X. You'll know what you're talking about. You won't fool yourself that it's going to cost you less than it does, which I've done a little bit of. But you'll know one thing for sure. You'll know you'll be able to get it done. You'll be able to fix it. You'll understand what you're doing, and you can get it done, whether you do it yourself or you hire subs. But that'll be a great advantage to you. So hey, this is what's coming. I've got a cool video coming of one of my tenants that's just an awesome barber. I have a nice good visit with him, go through. He gave me a pretty good haircut. This is actually a couple months old. It took a long time for us to edit it. That's coming. I did a bird dog yesterday on a really interesting property. If you were on my Twitter, I actually sent you a link to it that would allow you to get kind of a preview of an episode I'll probably release next week. but you have to be on Twitter to have seen that link. And then what else? And then today I also did a cool video on the status of the lake retreat, the lake investment, and that's pretty cool. Really beautiful day today. I just wanted to go jump in the water, and maybe I will by the end of the day. The other day I was, even though the home, like I said, it's a little bit in disarray to be using, but it won't be for long. But like I said, it's 2 minutes walk to the water. Jumped in with an inner tube, watched the sunset. It was awesome. So anyways, that's it for now. Flip Anything USA. Be sure to get on my Twitter, because you'll get to see some of the videos like a pre-release. You'll get an early look at them. And in fact, I tweeted that out, and then I actually decided, I better not just show that just yet, and I pulled it back off. But I'm sure some of you saw the tweet, and you're able to go look at what I sent earlier. So anyways, that's it for now. Flip Anything USA. Please join the Twitter. Please subscribe and share and ask questions. I don't have a ton of followers yet. We're pretty new, but I don't even care. I'm just happy if I can help a handful of you go on to make more money. It's a great lifestyle being an investor, and it's just easy. The more money you make, the easier it is. And you can help people, help your family, and I think that takes a lot of stress off you, and you can be a lot more relaxed and chill, and probably make you maybe might live longer. Hopefully, we'll see how long I live. But anyways, that's it for now. Thanks, and I'll check in later. Bye.